as long as it's going to provide them with a little bit of loot to compete.
You know what? If you're a Baby Yoda fan, let's hope we get a circle number 1 up here to the northwest. And you know what? They'll be able to loot and not have to worry about constantly chasing these circles here on these Miramar maps. Circle will go up here in just a moment. Once again, all the way out there to the east. But this time around, it shouldn't be too hard for the Baby Yodas to utilize the northern half of the map to make their way on over there. I do see 64 up. Remember, they just breached that 3rd place position on the overall leaderboards up against Dragon Gaming NA main. Contesting El Azhar. It's going to be a 4v3 situation going on right now. RJX Live 100% is aware of the enemy lurking out there in the distance, looking to regroup with their squad mates right now.
100% aware, but also 100% has the fragging ability with that, with the Scar, with the 4 times and the red dot to definitely put out some massive pressure or even hurt onto the members of Dragon themselves. Keep in mind that Dragon was a team that landed in El Azhar in the previous game, ended up getting a few kills. But what is going on, Dave? Is this inside of Picado? Yes, it is. The God of God squads have been hot dropped upon by none other than the Frat Pad, and they've been able to at least come up with 1 knockdown on a Mortify. But deadly forces of the God Squad have been able to fire back and take down 2 of the members of the Frat Pad in the process. Now just going to be Ardwima, the champion for the pad.
I mean, you love to see it. The Frat Pad, you know, they haven't been doing too hot here today, so they're looking to get a little more aggressive. They're looking to potentially capitalize on maybe throwing some teams off guard and getting a couple kills. Unfortunate for them, just like unfortunate. Yep, I mean, Clarity definitely have been improving their gameplay since we first seen them in games 1 and 2 here in this lobby. And Ethan looking like they fat fingered something, jumping out of that vehicle, running over themselves. And Abler might have been AFK getting a drink of milk right there, just chilling in that Marauder that was standing still right there in the open there. And looks like Clarity, we were just looking at them, losing 2 members here. Thankfully for them, they are going to have their squad mates to maybe regroup on them, get these revives within these smokes over here. But the Dragons are quickly making the approach. Grenade right on top of all 4 members. Only going to be connecting onto Ethan, but that 1 grenade could have spelled disaster.
Ooh, and the members of Dragon are pushing in against the 3 stack of Clarity, but the damage comes through onto the Clarity members themselves. A slight bit of damage going on to Dragon. The first knock comes out as well. Hitman going to be back from bleeding out on his knees to try to at least hamper the push coming from the north, and they've been able to do so pretty significantly. It's the third-party pressure now from the far west that ends up being too much for them to handle, at least having to get back behind a new bit of defilade to block the lines of sight. Mars can be very active, but Gixxer has been able to get the res. Both of the Dragon members in this area are going to be back on their feet, but quickly retreating. They don't want to be fighting here any longer, and now Oppy Boppy is going to be coming in, the 4th party to engage on this fight. Are the victors of the kill point. That's going to be a good pickup for Oppy Boppy because, Dave, we were talking about it. This is a squad that needs to be getting these points at every single opportunity they have.
Yeah, I mean, Dragons, they're getting shot. Same thing with Clarity. They're getting shot by Oppy Boppy, Mars, and the old nutters now, F looters over here as well. So that's one thing you got to kind of keep in mind with Miramar. Like, yeah, you could get a knock, but you know, you're going to expose yourself if you get ultra aggressive here in these early circles because there's just so many sightlines and so many variables to kind of take into consideration on who is going to be looking in your direction, especially with these teams that are in compounds just chilling, like they are just itching to just shoot their one out. Looks like they're going to heal on up. Joey Crack still in the vehicle.
I mean, that's rough, Dave. That's already going to be stalling out an incredibly long transition. And it's not so much the blue zone damage that we're worried about. It's more so, what are they going to be able to find inside of an already extremely crowded phase 2 circle?
Yeah, they're most likely going to come in to the most obvious spot, and that's going to be the northwest, that top corner where Junkyard is at hardcover, not like HIGHCLOUD do within their compounds. And Little Prodigy finding out firsthand that they need to avoid exposing themselves to the elements out there because Wildcard looking right down sights onto them. Here comes Mars, though. F looters in the kill feed taking out Rusties, but yeah, Mars also trying to get a piece of the Rusties. So Rusties just, you know, finally making their way on into the circle. We saw them earlier. We saw the challenges that they were facing earlier on in the blue zone. Finally making it on in here with no huge gain for them so far. 1 kill. I mean, hopefully they'll get more kills and put a little 0 behind that and get 10 because that would be great. But Hitman TTV is going to be bleeding on out. They do have this cover that they can get behind and get the revive. Just out here from 64 up, ruining the dreams of the solo player out here. And looks like Clarity also going to be taking some shots out there onto 64 up. Saw ratio K-cams in the kill feed, taking down Span Cargo. So things are starting to develop now as the circle obviously is shrinking as we progress within the game, but these squads are being forced to fight each other now. Mars, they don't know Herbs is back here because remember, Herbs was about to take the shots.
Oh my gosh.
Then 64 up, stopped them in their tracks. And yeah, Herbs in the vehicle, quickly making the run up onto Milo. And that was one heck of a surprise for Mars. They did not expect that one as far.
No, and now they're getting capitalized on over here. The members of the F-Looters, well, they know what's on the opposite side of the hill, and so now they start to fit with grenades. 64 up is still going to be third-partying on top of Mars, putting an extra wrench in their plans. But now Bailau is able to come in with a nice frag down onto Regimes. That's going to be a good first pickup. But again, it's really a concern as to the back flanks from both Dragon Gaming and then also 64 up as to how the success will play out for the members of Mars themselves.
Yeah, I mean, Herbs right behind Mars. Mars, they don't really have any cover from Herbs' position as well. They have a couple smokes to kind of defend their northern side, but they have bigger issues to worry about, those compounds right in front of them. And thankfully for them, Herbs was taken down and out by Monster, so now they can focus on the F-Looters. But other teams are looking to maybe wrap in the north as well. I mean, we see up there, Sharp Shot trying to wrap around to the west. We see 64 up there in the north as well. Just a lot of teams on top of one another right now. Clarity was finally eliminated at the hands of Oppie Boppie. Oppie Boppie, we've seen them for the past 10 minutes. They
onto the 64 up squad. Shot's going to continue to trade back and forth, flying over the terrain here, but no one is able to find it. But that sociopath comes in huge. He's able to knock down Winlow. Again, Winlow, a very impactful player for this Arctic Esports squad, but 64 up now has the advantage and are continuing to push from west to east, deadly into the paths of Arctic.
Yeah, 64 up. We saw a flash right there on the sociopath, able to get on over and breach that little hill and get the flush, but not before they were also spotted and taken down and out themselves over here. Arctic Esports down to just 2 more members out there in the distance. 64 up, 3 kills so far, 3 alive over here. Looking to wrap this one up, tossing some more flashes. Lots of flashes in this engagement. Here comes a grenade as well. Arctic trying to toss out some smokes in a defensive maneuver to maybe reposition off this. They are not feeling their current location. And now it does look like the third party is coming in from the Baby Yodas down there to the east. So they need to keep that in mind as well.
I like that 64 is not going to be pulling off of this. They really don't have much of a choice, though, because of that third-party presence down to the south. But right in Arctic Esports, they go right into the barrel. Oh, no! He's not going to be spotted out. Drop fresh is able to capitalize big, but it's 64 up that ends up righting the wrong and coming up with a victory in this engagement. But it's a big question. What are they going to be able to do here now outside of the circle, having to get the res and then face off against Oppie Boppie down here to the south, as well as, like you said it, Dave, the Baby Yodas, who have been a very, very pressure squad so far here in the mid-game.
I mean, 64 up, 1 battle at a time. That's all you can do right now. One has been on the cusp for the last 5 minutes. Finally, both these teams need to reposition. And look who is lying in wait over here. Wildcard Gaming setting up for the roadblock of the century here on this final Miramar map of Lobby B. Looking to capitalize on both of these squads. But F-Looters, recognizing the danger that they are in, will be pulling back to potentially take out Mars before making that push into the new zone.
Well, Mars is definitely trying to push. They're going to be spotting out Beast on the outside wall of the compound. Little Monster going to be holding that with the Mini 14 to see if they can't get another bit of impactful damage. But no, from inside, it's going to be Frodo that ends up catching, yet again, another member of Mars. Bailau going to be bleeding out, flushed out of the game. Now a solo member, a true solo. Black Sheep left a champion for their squad. They're trying to at least maneuver their way through the alleyways of this small little compound, remaining undetected for now, but Beast is going to be able to spot out around the right-hand corner of the wall, and down he goes. The members of the F-Looters wipe out Mars in 9th place position. 8 teams remain, Dave. We are in the placement points.
In the placement points, that fight was on the cusp, as mentioned, for about 5 to 10 minutes, so F-Looters coming out on top of that one over there. But not before getting into this new circle. 64 up are going to be already in the circle. going to be taking some shots, hearing the F looters on their previous engagement, trying to keep them at bay. Meanwhile, wild card right down there to the south, and Baby Yoda's taken down and out by the Antarctic Foxes. Looks like they were maybe surprised over there on that high ground, little cliff edge that we did see the God Squad of God Squads occupying earlier on. Now, I gotta say, HIGHCLOUD, they have been in that compound since circle number 1, and it is still going to be favored in circle number 6. If you are HIGHCLOUD, you made one heck of a decision when it comes to positioning, because
up here, at least in the final minutes of this game, for hopefully success. They continue to spot out the members of Wildcard, but it's really the fight between 64 Up and Oppie Boppie that continues to rage on here up towards the north. A compound that could give the members of 64 Up some cover to work off of should phase number 7 shift that direction, but it's really just any target that presents himself inside of the scope of 64 Up they're going to be trying to capitalize on. And with 6 kills to their name now, Wildcard is going to be their next target.
Honestly, I mean, 64 Up, even if they get taken down right here, and they did a great job on the Miramar maps. Last game, they had a duo. They ended up with 15 kills thus far. Currently sitting on 6 kills this game as well. Ooh. And they are not looking to give up quite yet. Honey Badger will be making that connection on to Hoshi, but Hoshi should be able to get revived. Keenan connected on by Jay Snow for life as well. Looks like Wildcard are going to be in quite the predicament. Pentalol, the last remaining member of the team. Buggy pops tire, trying to get on into the shack, on into the new zone. HIGHCLOUD. So
I don't think they spotted Gun Talk on that flank position was able to find at least one of the members of the God Squad, but it looks like Little Prodigy has been able to make it all the way up to the edge of phase number 7. HIGHCLOUD now has to push into a very deadly position, and Little Prodigy can be in a fight. He spots out one of the members of Antarctic Fox, gets a nice headshot. He was engaged with all 3 members of that squad, had hits on everyone, but was not able to find the fatal damage onto any single target, but did enough damage to where HIGHCLOUD was pretty much able to fire a few rounds in that direction and wipe out the entirety, Dave, of Antarctic Fox. Little Prod set them up for greatness, and HIGHCLOUD came through and took complete advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, Little Prod pretty much preheating the oven on that one for HIGHCLOUD, and HIGHCLOUD popping on out of their den, their compound that has been securing for the entirety of this game. 5 kills so far. HIGHCLOUD using these smokes to try to get on into this new circle. Pentalol connecting on to Cole G. Looks like HIGHCLOUD Docs version 2 will be going for that revive. Meanwhile, our Wildcard pushing up the hill onto 64 Up. 64 Up have been on this position for some time now. Are they aware of the duo coming up from behind with the backstab? No, they're not. They're taken down and out.
Big Keen coming in, leading the charge. The IGL for Wildcard is absolutely fragging out, but so is his partner right now, Pentalol. These two have had an insane series so far, and now in a 2v2 to properly at least close out this part of the map. They will be losing one more in the process. Keenan goes down. It's going to be flushed because of it, but a huge spray down and a nade coming in for Pentalol. Possibly even another nade to follow it up and end the dreams of Oppie Boppie. Does it get close? Yes, it does. Paydirt has been heard, and Wildcard is going to be doing big things here. That's what we like to see, a solo player. Now Penta facing off in a 1v2 scenario. Unfortunately, though, the shots come through. Jay Snow for life, and the members of HIGHCLOUD end up taking away game number